2003, country stars the Dixie Chicks became early victims of cancel culture when country music stations dropped them for trashing President George W. Bush on stage. Now they're back on country radio and Taylor Swift's new song, Soon You'll Get Better. And a lot of people, for some reason, who probably weren't even alive then, are not happy about it. Do they need to get past this?
Even George Bush has gotten past it. He's painting pictures of cats. He doesn't even care anymore.
You know how many singers have said far worse things, though, about Trump and are still outperforming? This was in a different time in our country's history, and I think we now look back in the past. I, for one, I'm not a fan of artists getting overly political because I just want to listen to their music. No. Not everyone agrees with me on that,
but you can do both at the same time.
They are more than welcome to share their views and let the free market do what it will. But to totally cancel them and say you're not allowed to sing anymore. I was listening to Spotify and Taylor Swift, they're singing one of her songs with her now. I think that's part of their comeback. I think they're great, but you know.
I know, it's interesting because for those of you that don't remember, it was, I think, 2003, was it? And it was during the war. And the lead singer said, just so you know, we're on the good side with y'all. We do not want this war, this violence, and we're ashamed the president of the United States is from Texas. That's what she said.
That one. Well, she did it in overseas when she was performing in England, and I think. And
it was about the Iraq War.
It was right before the war started. Yeah.
And
so
then that was
overseas, you think it's worse?
Well, if I ever leave the country, you will never hear me criticize America's perfect and nothing bad ever happened. That's just how I was raised.
Unless, of course, you're the president.
Right.
And then
I'm saying how me, Megan, does it.
Exactly.
No,
They were in London.
You don't have to do it. This is just how it's just how I was raised and what I believe. I love the Dixie Chicks, though. And I think it's time to move on because that was over 10 years ago, if not longer. And they performed this version of Daddy's Lessons with Beyonce at the CMA Awards, I believe, that is incredible. And they're beautiful artists, and I think art is political. I don't agree with what they did, but I think they've more than atoned at this point.
Well,
and I would like them to go on tour.
How can you hold them? How can you continue to hold them to a level that the guy who's supposed to be running the country does not hold himself to? So.
And she apologized. So the singer apologized.
Well, but even if she apologized,
her name's Natalie Maines.
You know, even if she apologized, 10 years is a very long time, and things change, and she can still be angry. But the beauty of America. The beauty always was you had the right to do that. You had the right. Now, unless we're changing all the policies to make it so you can't criticize or say anything, but that's a different country. That's not the country I was raised up in, so something's gonna have to change for me. Because, it'll come out of my mouth and be like, well, I used to be able to have freedom of speech.
No, but I think we're gonna look back 10 years from now, like we are in this moment, and say, we haven't done everything right. Maybe we were too PC. Maybe we were this cancel culture.
This isn't even PC. This is if you hold people to a standard. You have to hold everybody to that standard. And if you're not going to hold him to that standard, then you need to lighten up on what you mad at the Dixie Chicks about. Because some of the stuff that's come out of his mouth overseas is just like,
I refer you.
Yes. It was a huge scandal.
Google the Helsinki meeting, and you'll see what she's talking about.
They're one of the great country music artists of a generation, and I love their music. I still do, and
a lot of people agree with what they said now. Well, in retrospect.
Times change.
Times change, so everybody grow up.
It's the same with the